So we've got 670 NP, and I am on the talent menu for Chilkat because it is desperately bad. And I thought, what I actually want to be doing with talents is either using them for a specific ability that I need to beat a level I'm absolutely resolutely stuck on after all my trying, or to improve the things that really need improving, not the units that are already good, to bring them up onto a nice sort of plane where I could use a lot more units genuinely and practically when I go for trying to do a level. So I guess knockback would possibly help with the issue of it having very little range, so if it knocks back things more often, we don't have the problem of it being outranged quite as often. There's resist weaken, I don't know how useful that would be, but NP cost 5 to gain it, I will unlock that, that's perfectly sensible. Defensive power might help. Attack power, I can't remember what it actually does. What does it do? Oh, it is supposed to be a massive attack power. Okay, fair enough. These aren't very expensive costs, so maybe it might be worth to get 2 attack buffs and 2 cost downs. That leaves us a nice area to keep improving if we feel it's not working well for us. I won't do knockback quite yet, just in case it interferes with the strat, but I will get a couple of defense buffs. That leaves us with 635 NP, and hopefully well on the road to Chilkat becoming somewhat reputable. I'm still not going to be giving it any plus levels yet. The NP will be more useful, perhaps to even channel into itself. But maybe one day it will be a unit worth using. Let's go off to Venus, which is where I am going to introduce Chilkat to the mix. And there's its cost down, it's gone under 1,000, which actually makes me think that if that becomes a restriction, that might ultimately not be very useful at all. But let's see how the talents have benefited it. Go on Chilkat then. What can you do? Short recharge time on it, so the cost down is probably going to end up being hugely useful by the time that it's maxed out. I still reckon it will be quite expensive though, and not particularly practical. And there's its tiny range backfiring against it. The damage has been increased, however, as has its defense, so it can survive. Don't know if it can survive more than it ordinarily would, but we've actually managed to get more than one Chilkat in one place at one time, which is not a very regular sight. Right, an Ursa Major, a Froggo, loads of flipping stuff, loads of very difficult looking stuff, and I wonder whether it's going to be possible to have any positive impact. The meat shielding has fallen away so very quickly, but the Chilkats are getting some hits in, which is fantastic. I love to see it, and I don't love to see that. They just all disappeared. Luckily, some of them weren't through death, but through teleportation, so we've still got a little bit of a stack. Let's get a Misato in to try and calm the crowds and slow them down. She isn't going to do the necessary damage. That is going to all be down to Chilkat. I'll supplement the slow as well. Let's see if Chilkat can do the damage. Again, it's doubtful, but you never know. Breaker Blast, I think, actually contributed more in that small moment than Chilkats have for a while, but maybe I'm just not giving them the praise that they deserve. Though Ursa Major is completely outclassing them every time, knocking them back in one clean shot before they can muster up enough breath to do their own attack. And unfortunately, there's no talent for that. Still struggling a little bit. I'm going to supplement it with more meat shielding, but realistically, what can I do? Thaumaturge won't have time to get a shot in. But did you, Chilkat? Was that a chill hit? I'm liking it, I'm liking it. I'm going to push forward with this Chilkat Revolution. Because if they can finally be useful, I would be over the moon. Oh, there we go! I saw it with my own eyes! The breath was intaken and then exhaled and turned Ursa Major to strengthen mode, which is going to make things even more difficult, but there we go. Rover got a knockback in there, nice job. The Chilkat was so close to taking a shot and then just got a sneaky hit, courtesy of Ursa Major. And oh dear, okay, we're back to our issues again. But what can I do to rectify them? I should think very little indeed. Metal Cat would be fantastic if it weren't for those Croxos there. It's still holding up quite well, but I doubt we're going to be able to have the impact we want, even with all the things to supplement Chilkat, because so often the meat shields die and Chilkat's just left out there, which I guess could be swapped round as a point to make it seem like Chilkat's quite good. But I mean, overall, there is no positive impact. Oh, so close. We need to find some very clever niche time within attacks so that we just miss one attack and then have enough time to do our own onto Ursa Major. But is that gap actually big enough? I have a feeling that it probably won't end up being so, and we might be stuck here forever. Oh, that's the closest yet. That was the closest yet. I mean, I feel like the breath was being exhaled at the point it was knocked back. I don't think it was by the Ursa Major either. And there we go! Finally, a Chilkat breathes on Ursa Major and breathes to succeed. Chilkat, you the cat. I'm going to keep this strat in place for Mercury because this has a restriction of max number of deployable cats at 20. Chilkat still has its chance to shine. Its first challenge, breaking the barrier and killing a starred alien Dolphina. The barrier has been successfully dealt with. There are a few rovers protecting, doing a perfectly good job because the starred alien Dolphina has just got to be the nicest enemy of them all. I genuinely feel bad defeating it. But one thing I don't necessarily feel so bad defeating is a Scissoroo. Can Chilkat defeat this one? Well, I'll take the opportunity to upgrade the Worker Cat while we're still in a relatively alright position. There's a knockback, and now we need all action stations if possible because a Star Peng has arrived. Let's get Masato for some crowd control. Breaker blast them all back. That reveals another starred alien Dolphina in the mix. Metal Cat is good for these minimum unit challenges. And I won't bring out air or that just yet, just so that we have them in reserve for if we need them later. And just to show off the decentness of this Chilkat as it stands currently, I am remarkably impressed. Stuff's just appearing at the base, but there's no boss wave so far. And with the amount of damage that the Chilkats are actually doing, feels strange in saying, we've just gone and won. Well, that'll do. Right, let's be careful about the amount of units we're using because it's the same restriction once again. And as I've got my treasure radar on already, I'm going to do all I can to get my Worker Cat up to max so that we are best prepared as we can be for what comes out. Max Worker Cat and enough monies for both Air and Meg Aphrodite individually. And we have an Iron Face and one of those horrible Mr. Moles. Right, okay, well that's intriguing. Let's just try and clear out of their range entirely with a Meg Aphrodite then. Breaker blast them back briefly and see if Chilkat can be of some benefit to us. Wow, okay, that's actually going remarkably well. Meg Aphrodite is clearing them out really quickly. Unsurprisingly, a huge amount of damage increased against aliens makes an even huger amount of damage, and so that is it entirely dealt with in one fell swoop. Preparation wasn't probably even needed, but was useful because it definitely sealed the victory for us. Elmut Crab! Oh, I love these pronunciations. And Lucilla, no! Ooh, lovely. Okay, I was sure that was going to be over 10 seconds. The great thing about Meg Aphrodite... Oh, that is not the case. I thought I was so clever, but no, that's Professor A. It doesn't outrange Lucilla. I'm just going to have to keep things as they Lucilla are. Or perhaps not. I had the idea to put in Chilkat. I don't know if the attack times will work out, but I don't think Lucilla attacks often enough to always be catching Chilkat out. Maybe we can get loads of damage off using that technique. I was about to say, that was with the proviso that those are the only two enemies. Of course, they're not, as I've just found out now after going past the 10 seconds. But was that from Chilkat, a knockback on starred alien scary imposing boy? I certainly believe it was. Do we have time to save up for air in this mad teleportage scenario? Because... Chilkat, you absolute madman, where even are you? That cyclone somehow being dealt with has given us a brilliant opportunity to put air into the battle, and that should make things at least a little bit more calm. I think air has plenty of abilities not to be affected by the cyclone. I'm not absolutely sure of it, but I think it will provide some order that is desperately needed. There was a weaken got off by Thaumaturge, but before I could even describe that, the cyclone is gone, and so was not as much of a worry as I thought it would be. And yeah, Chilkat was good for that. Flippin' yeah. Goodbye, La Solar. Is that it? Or is there more? I'm up for more. Oh, heck yeah. No more. It almost caught us out. I almost caught myself out. I almost made what I would have thought as an informed change that was definitely not an informed change. Didn't make it. Put Chilkat in that worked. Air saved us from things turning to absolute chaos. We've gained an anti-metal ability fruit, and I think that has been rather a success. So that is quite a few superior treasures now, and I think I'll be happy to use my treasure radars. They're not going to be going towards anything else. There's very rare rarely, other than in story mode, a time where you need to use a treasure radar. Can only really think of in the higher up XP stages. So ultimately, I think we've got a new good thing started, and we'll be getting ever closer to having enough treasure to challenge the very difficult new Cyclone. Chilkat, with talents, has shown itself to be on the course to being reputable. In fact, at the moment, I don't feel like I need to add any talents to it. If it runs into trouble, I have more than enough talents still to be able to add to it, and that's the breathing space that I like to have. And I hope that a space in your life taken up by this video has been a good use of your time in your mind. In other words, I hope that this has entertained you. On that note and thought, I will be off, so I will bid you goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed.